Okay, so it was question number one, the vampire uh, of your tarot collection. What deck do you seem stuck to? Um, I believe I believe that's what it was. I don't have my script because, well, anyway, um, my first deck would be the. Uh, like I said, not all my decks are out here. I'm not going in my room to get them. But my first deck would be Witch's Wisdom or Witchy Wisdom. That one was actually given to me by Erie. Um, so there's that. And then the second deck would be the Wizard's Tarot. It was a Spencer's deck. They don't make it anymore. Of course, Aiden. The other reason is that it's a lot easier to like open boxes and stuff with two hands. So yeah. Anyway, um, I don't know. It just gives me like 80s kind of vibes. I do. I absolutely with this deck. Of course they're gonna fall because somebody's knocking them off. Thanks, Aiden. Um, he wants to be a helper today. You want to knock those off too? Huh? So, but that's a deck that is my other vampire deck. And the other one was, what is your werewolf deck? A deck that the relationship has changed over time. And again, I got this one at Spencer's. It was on sale because I don't think they're not doing a lot of tarot anymore. That would be, yeah, my Luna Soul Tarot. So I'm just gonna pull a couple out because I've got time restraints now. If Aiden doesn't like, it is a little bit pippish, but pip deck. I keep wanting to say pimp deck, but yeah, this is one of the reasons why when I saw this, like my relationship with this deck. If you don't know what this symbol, if you're a Prince fan, well, you know, you know. That was one of the things that just sort of changed my relationship with this deck. So there's question one and question two. Okay, question number three. What would be your medium deck? I have quite a few of those. This is one of the decks. I mean, everybody's has this deck or knows. I've used this with deity work. Santa Muerte, she has her own personal deck, but when I want to do deity work with my communication with her, I will use this, and she does. This are also an oracle deck that goes to this, and then I use the Napa Tarot. So as far as Hecate goes, I would use my ghost deck. I'll show you the picture here. um, oh, shoot, there it goes again. Let me see. I might have. Yeah, because I know that one's here. Because Hecate is about the dead. I'm just going to grab a couple. So there's the back. I'm going to turn it right side up. So there's a couple of them. It's kind of like a gothic, a little bit kind of deck. So, I haven't used it in a minute because, you know, I only use it. Yeah, you're going to knock them off. So, that's another deck I've used to work with Hecate. I use the Celtic deck or, my Druid deck to communicate with Danu. Another deck when I've done ancestral work, and I don't know where it went. Was it's probably over there on my couch, knowing me. Because I grabbed it. Unless it's, yeah, okay. Would be, okay, so he's going to be charming now, because I had it sitting at the side, and so, one of the decks I use, because I've got quite a few, and I'm not going to pull them all out, is the Native American Tarot deck. I don't have the book to this, so it's in storage. But I've used this to communicate with my ancestors. I've got quite a few decks, so I'm not, so I've used the Wildwood, to communicate, and my Medicine Woman deck, and my Vision Quest deck, because this talks about like all the, you learn about a lot of the culture and stuff with other Native American tribes and stuff, but I haven't used this deck in a long time because I haven't been doing ancestral work, and I should be. So I might go back later. Anyway, I also have a Norse deck that I've used, but I've got like a lot of the decks that I've used for that type of thing. This is the Native Spirit deck. So here's a few of those pictures. This is an Oracle deck. I've used this. And another Oracle deck, and I just got this. And I had it before, but I had to get a new one. Is the Sacred Path cards. Because, well, yeah, it got messed up. When I got it, it had two of the same card, and I just waited on the price on it to go down. And when we moved, I didn't get a chance to grab it and get it out of storage. There's a couple of like my tarot and oracle books I didn't get to, but I've used this one before with ancestral and elemental type of things. I don't communicate with the Fae necessarily. I just make sure that they have a decent... still working on my fairy garden, which is what I was doing during the whole Finding the Fae hashtag, as best I could, because I could not... I was really having issues trying to get my site back. So, and the Orphan deck, I have decks that I'm kind of disappointed with, but they're going to serve their purpose at some point. So there's only like one, and I'm not because I'm not going to rehome it, because at some point it's going to serve a purpose. I may just use it differently like I do the other deck. So that's question 3 and 4. Okay, so my Sweeney Todd deck, which is dark themed, that would be my Z Tarot. I haven't really got into using my Z Tarot all that much, but I use this one quite a bit. I did a walkthrough. I'm not going to show a lot, because like I did a walkthrough for Erie, because Erie was interested in it. So I'm only going to show like a few. So yeah, this deck, it's like the Bram Stoker's Dracula, Underworld, and Blade, like all in one. And I like those types of movies. So, and I really haven't messed with my Z Tarot all that much. I should do it more, but that's like my Sweeney Todd dark themed one. The one that reflects me, my Dorian Gray deck, Um, that would have to be my Witch's Garden Tarot. I'll get that out and just grab a couple. I use this one quite a bit. It does, like, I've done some really good readings um, for some people. I think like Lady Adara can tell you, I did some really good readings with this. And so that's my Sweeney Todd and my Dorian Gray deck. Okay, so my witch themed deck, or deck that I've used in spells, that would have to be the Book of Shadows, the As Above. I have two of this deck, and the other deck was gifted to me, and I wanted the So Below, and it was cheaper just to get both decks in the set. And the other As Above is the one that Santa Muerte prefers. So I've used this deck, not this actual deck, but the other deck. I've used it in spell work, and it is both witch themed. So, wow. So, I have, jeez. I've used this, I mean, I haven't, like, put it back together, so I haven't, like, used it in a second. But, yeah, that's my witch-themed deck. Now, my Ripper deck, a deck that I wish that I could, you know, hack and do all that stuff too, is my Healing Fairy Oracle. Okay, the reason why I say that is because, and I can't cut these borders. The borders, it makes the picture smaller, which doesn't help me out, like, at all. But the borders to this, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a patchwork quilt maybe, but the borders on this are just really, they really bug me. Typically borders don't bother me, but with this deck it does. I kind of like the borders because it makes the print stand out. It's easier for me to see, but the borders in this deck just really bug me. It's really, it's really distracting. And then, let me move my stuff. My Frankenstein deck. This is a deck I made back around the time of the pandemic, and I was wanting to, like, make it into an oracle deck, and I had numbers on it, and I was going to do a whole book thing to it. But I was like, nah. Actually, this is the deck when I did my first, my first, live tarot reading. I did it with Aiden and Lady Adara. This was like, oh, this thing wants to be obnoxious. This was the first deck that I used when I was doing my readings. There's the back. I got this off of Wish. It was like story cards or something like that. I want to get Dixit and Dixit decks, D-I-X, not, you know. But yeah. So, this is like my Frankenstein deck. I used packing tape. It's not the best, but yeah, that's kind of like my Frankenstein deck that I made. Okay, so for my Scorned Woman deck, a deck depicting women's empowerment. So one of the decks would be my Dark Angel Tarot. I'm only going to show a couple of these. So yeah, this is like a really gothic deck. I love this deck. That would be one of the decks that I would pick for my Scorned Woman deck. And another one would be my Medicine Woman deck. I don't have the box anymore because I've had this deck since the pandemic. So, this would be, and I've used this for ancestral stuff too. So this would be, and the book is really good because it has all kind of stuff in it. So this would be another of my Scorned Women decks. And then, if I can find it, because I just had it out and pulled it out, the Witch's Heart is another one. The Witch's Heart Oracle. This is more for like the crone phase. So, here's another one of those. Let me pull this back up. I'm trying to do this with my legs. So, this is another female empowerment deck. And my other two decks would be, shoot. Yeah, Aiden, you're a lot of help. Would be my LEK deck, and I use this one quite a lot. I used it during the Divine Feminine hashtag, and my Arwen Lynch, I follow her, you know, we're Facebook friends and stuff. She was the writer. This was from US Games. And there is a tarot deck to this, and I don't have it yet. So, it would be my, Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. And I believe there's like, Miss Kulava had it. I think that there's a kind of like a companion tarot deck by the same, doesn't wanna? Okay. A creator. The creator has a tarot deck also. It's called Comfy something. But, anyway, I'll just have to do it this way because my stand does not want to cooperate. So, in the last Scorned Women deck, or Women's Empowerment deck that I have, is one that I got for Mother's Day. And the Yolanda Witch Tarot. This is like more of like a healing deck for women. I'm only going to show a couple because, well, time constraints. So, this is like another, like, female, empowerment kind of deck. So, that's that. I'm not going to show the Forbidden Love deck because I don't want to get a strike, but I will show a picture of it. That would be the Sensual Wicca Tarot. I do have that, but I'm not going to show that on here. And then I'm going to do my Jekyll and Hyde. Okay, so Jekyll and Hyde. And I've got more than one. So, these are at least, so the Ancestral Path Tarot, and then the Ancestral Spirit Oracle. So that's one of my pairings. And then my Santa Muerte, I also used the Napa Tarot with that. And my Santa Muerte Oracle, I hope to get Sugar Skull at some point in Day of the Dead. The Wisdom of the Hidden Realm, and I don't know if I can see it, but my Universal, yeah. I've been pairing these together, so I just used these in a reading, so, there's that. My Halloween Oracle, and the Haunted House, and then I have my Z Tarot, and then my V Tarot, which you guys saw earlier. So there's that. and then my Classic Horror Oracle, and then for the pairing I have this deck, and then there's another deck, and this one, but this one's only like the majors, and this, and you saw my Witch's Tarot earlier, and oops, I pair it with the one deck that I just dropped. And then I have the Druidcraft and the Universal Celtic, and I pair that with my Druid Animal Oracle. So now that I've dug everything out, oh yeah, and this one, and I didn't grab my Goddess Oracle, and I have Wisdom of the House of Night, and from what I understood, that had a lot to do with vampires, so I would also do the V Tarot with that. And this I got for my birthday about 2 years ago. And then, of course, I would do the Horror Oracle with my Halloween or the Classic Horror Oracle. Because when I get it, I pair it with more than one thing. I want to get another vampire deck, but anyway, but that other one, I've showed you guys my Goddess Oracle quite a few times. So anyway, couldn't get my stand to work, but so that's my hashtag. Hope you enjoyed it, Erie. So again, guys, peace, love, and light, and we'll see you in the next video.